Hey there, how's it going? Great to see you. I was asked recently by a group of new filmmakers what sort of microphone should they get to go on the camera and what do I use all the time? Well, that's quite a broad question as it turns out, because I don't just use one type of microphone. I use a lot of different types of microphones. So what I thought I would do is make this video and go through the options of different microphones that you might choose and want to collect over time, so that you could pick out what one would work best for you in any particular given scenario. So what I'll do is I'll start with the microphone that I use for recording audio right here. This is the microphone I'm using right now, and it's a studio mic from Lensgo. It's the KD96. This is a fantastic microphone which has really good broad dynamic range. There's a downside to these microphones in that they don't filter out lots of background noise like you might want it to if you were filming outside or near traffic or in a crowd or something. They're relying on having a fairly good noise controlled environment like the room I'm in here, where I don't get a lot of background noise, so this thing doesn't have to filter anything out. The upside of that is it's not filtering out sound that I want to record, so the dynamic range of it and the type of sound that it does record is really rich and clean. And if you're recording voice in a studio, this is the kind of thing you want to go for. If you're recording outdoors, you're going to want a directional mic, a bit like this one. This is the Rode NTG2, which is sort of the power horse of directional microphones and camera microphones. It can go onto a boom pole by using the handle that I've got here. So that just slots onto there. It can go onto a boom pole through that thread. It takes an XLR cable in the end. It's battery powered, so it's noise reduced and all these sort of neat things. This can be a bit of a pricey mic. It's also got this dead cat that you can put on the end here to block out any wind noise and that sort of thing as well. This here is quite a directional mic, and what that means is that anything out that way, it will pick up really well, so it'll get lots of sound coming in the end here. The design of these baffles and everything around it mean that any noise from the side or around the back is increasingly diminished, so you're predominantly getting just noise coming out the front, and that's what directional mics do. The more directional a mic is, basically the longer one of these microphones is, the more directional it is. So I've got a couple of other ones here as well. This is one from QTX, which is another directional mic. It's a little bit longer, it's slightly more directional, but this one's actually quite a cheap microphone. The dynamic range isn't so good, but it's about a quarter of the price, and it still does a really good job, especially if you're starting out. Something like that, perfectly acceptable. Here's another microphone I've got from Global Media Pro. As you can see, that one is incredibly long. It's about 3-4 times the barrel length of the Rode mic, and this one here will give you very clean directional sound with a lot of side noise that it will cancel out and ignore over quite a decent distance. So there's a huge number of options you can get in directional mics. By the way, if you're interested in any of these mics, I will put links into the description below so that you can go and find out more detail about them, and I will make more videos about them, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The most common use of a directional mic is to mount on top of a camera. A lot of people want a simple microphone that they can put on top of their camera and run a quick cable to the camera and record audio and video together in the camera, so when you bring it back to do some edit, it's all ready to go. And I've got a few mics here to show you that are really good at that. The first one here is the Rode video mic. This is pretty much the standard video mic that you can get. There's a few variations on this one that Rode offer. It's got power in here, which means that it can put some power through the sensor and get a much cleaner signal with less background or hum noise or anything like that. And this just plugs directly into the mic in on your camera. I've got another one here, which is a Saramonic directional microphone. This one here is a little bit different because while you can still power it out to a camera, it's actually got a built-in recorder as well, and a lot of this sort of microphone does have a built-in recorder these days. Some of the mainstream ones don't. Some of the more different ones that are coming online are more likely to have that sort of thing. And a simpler mic that I've got here as well is this thing here, which is another LensGo mic. This one is the DMM2, and as you can see, it's a short shotgun mic, but it does do a very good job. It's a little bit more modern than those older ones, and so the technology has improved a little bit. Great metal housing and everything, and comes with the dead cat. This will mount on top of a camera and won't go too far out, so it's not going to get in front of the lens like some of the larger ones can, and that's quite a big consideration. There's also this one here, which is the DMM1, which is the tiny brother of the one I just showed you. It's also got this neat little foam mount on here to block out any wind noise. It's a lightweight, really short one that's easy to put on a point and click type camera and plug straight into the audio port wherever you're going. And they get even smaller. If you've got a tiny camera and you want to keep a really lightweight kit, you can get something like this Siren mic here. Once again, it's just a short shotgun. It's got a little foam mount on the end, but it also packs with a dead cat that you can put on there as well if you are shooting out in the wind. It's not going to be anywhere near as directional as the larger mics that I was showing you before, but it will cut out a lot of noise behind you and stuff like that, and it will do part of that job, and it will do it quite well. This actually is a really good mic. I like this one. So that covers the microphones that you can cable up to something and wire into your camera or a mixing desk or an ATEM Mini or something like that. Now let's have a look at some wireless mic. One of the standard industry workhorses for wireless microphones is the Rode Wireless Go. That's this thing here, which is a transmitter and a receiver set. You can just clip one onto here and the other side of it goes onto the camera, and this will transmit audio up to about 20 meters, 25, 30 meters or something like that really cleanly, and it's got a little bit of gain in here as well, and that there is a fantastic set. If you want to look at other options around that, once again I've got something from LensGo here. It's this set here, which comes in this neat charging case, which means that you can plug a USB-C into there, and in here we've got, very similar to the Rode Wireless Go, a sender and receiver. The difference being that when you put them into this case, they're charging automatically, and also this kit is a bit cheaper than the Rode Wireless Go, and I think there's a slightly better range on it as well. I really need to go and test that out, but it's another great option. Once again, there are links to these down below, and I've also got other videos that will give you more detail if you want to check some of these things out. Finally, I've got another LensGo kit, and this one's a little bit more industrial. This is the sort of thing that will get you up to a couple of 100 meters range and will get you incredibly clean audio. It's going to be much better quality audio than you're going to get off some of the lower cost sets. This is a great set that you can hook up with a lapel mic that ships with it with really good balanced cable, and you can clip that on here. So you don't need to have one of these hooked up here. That just goes onto your belt, and then the lapel mic can discreetly come up here so it's not so visible. If you want to use a lapel mic and you're shooting by yourself, there's also a lot of simple lapel mics that you can plug straight into your camera audio. There are a lot of other options for lapel mics as well that are really cheap to get and really effective. Do note though that some of the cheap lapel mics, the microphone sensor on them is really small, so you might not get as good dynamic range or the same quality of audio, but because they're designed to clip up really close to your mouth, like here, then they're not going to get as much background noise, because the closer the microphone it is to your mouth, the less significant background noise is going to be just from proximity. So this sort of thing is really great. That just clips onto your shirt or collar or something like that, and the other end of it's got a good long cable where it just goes out to your camera. You do need to be careful though that if you're using a camera based lapel mic, you can't just walk away from the camera. You are tethered to it. Be careful not to pull your camera over. It's happened before. There's one more microphone I want to show you, which is this one here. It's the VideoMic ME-L from Rode. It's the L version of this, which means it's lightning and goes into the iPhone. There's a USB version for Android phones as well. That just clips into the lightning port on the side of the iPhone here. So if you're using your iPhone as a camera, you've now got pretty good directional sound off this as well. What that means, you're just going to get less significant sound from all around you. It's only a short shotgun, so it's not going to be an absolutely perfect solution, but hey, it's better than the microphones built into the phone. So that's a really quick introduction to a few different types of microphones. Hopefully it will help you when you're considering what it is you want to purchase to start your own collection. There's plenty of links down in the description where you can find out more information about all of these, and also I've got other videos on the channel you might want to go and have a look at. Don't forget to click here and subscribe so that when I publish more videos you don't miss out on them, and also watch this video and this video. If you got any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below, and I will see you in another video real soon.